Thank you, Charlene. That was beautiful. And on the list we have next Terralia. Terralia. No, we have a little left. Gonna get one more call out for Terralia.
I got you.
Next, after Terralia then, is Aristeo. Oh, there you are. Good. Aristeo. I met Aristeo at another open mic at chat rooms last Wednesday, and we told Aristeo about this one, and I'm so glad that you're here.
Thank you.
Welcome. Let's give it up for Aristeo.
Thank you so much. Thank you, guys. Thank you. I hope you all enjoying your evening so far. And if not, remember, it is open mic, so it's free. Got some notes here just so I can stay focused because, the good old ADHD. Again, my name is Aristeo. At a younger age, I went by Eddie because, to be honest with you, I didn't know what my name meant. And, to top it off, I'm a junior, so my dad didn't even know what our name meant. So, yeah, growing up, I didn't find out till my sophomore year of college that what it meant. It was actually Greek. It's a sub name for Aristotle. And, when I found out what it meant, threw me back to when I was a kid. Anybody else had an interesting name? No? A lot of Johns and Susies and stuff like that? Lucky you. Did you? I saw a hand. Did you? Somebody? No, kind of. I hear you. Stage fright, me too. And so, like I said, you could always tell when it's your name, when the teacher is calling, doing the roll call. You'll get Susie, here, Jamal, here, Maria, here. And then it's like a trivia question, right? You could tell. So, so I'm like, oh, that's me. So I'll mess with the teacher, wait, and, Ari Stereo, I'm like, just call me Eddie, ma'am. I go by Eddie. But knowing now what it means the great one, right? So I wish I would have known back there when I was a kid, because I'd be like, ma'am, just call me the great one, right? But the crazy thing is, like I said, I'm a junior, so my parents kind of gave me a contradicting life. I'm the great one, but part two, or remix, or I don't know. But it's a blessing name. I use it. I go by it now because it's a beautiful name. I've always thought it was a beautiful name. But like I said, I'm Hispanic and from Texas, and I thought it was like deep rooted, like Mexican, like Frijo or a Pampo or stuff like that. But nope, it means the great one. So I'm very proud of it. Let's see. Oh, like I said, like Julie mentioned the other time earlier that I did open mic at another spot a couple weeks ago. I did it the first time in like 15 years. I did one time in college, and I didn't realize my mic was still hot. Speaking of that, it's blue, right? Yep. All right, I'm good. Sorry. And so I didn't realize my mic was hot, so I was coming off the stage, and I was like, damn, I said a little loud. I was like, damn, I got cotton mouth, and the sad thing is I haven't been smoking, and so I was like, damn, good old tolerance break. Gave the lungs a break, and gave that damn wallet a break, because it's a pricey habit, every day, all day kind of a deal. Yeah. But one day I'll go back to it, because mama didn't raise no quitter, you know. Well, speaking of being stoned and having a good time back in the day, you guys remember having those conversations, with your friends and your groups and whatever, and you're just talking about just craziness or dumbness? Well, I remember one of the conversations, and speaking and hearing about it, was talking about poop. You know, yeah, sorry, but it's true. Like the different kinds of poop. Like what we heard of, like the Houdini. Where it just disappears. You wipe, you turn around, you're like, shit, I know it's a shit, you know what I'm saying? But it's not there. So, it's, yeah. Or the one I don't remember, I don't really like, because, it was those drunken nights, and you had, a six pack of so and so and a burrito or something, cereals and beer, which don't, mix. And then the next morning you wake up to, I call it the CSI, the crime scene, because you look around, you're like, damn, just somebody got shot. Or the tugboat, where it's just too damn big to go anywhere. Or the one I was laughing about with my wife is, we call it the pie shit. and it's not because you ate a lot of pie. It's because it's like pie the number, where endless wipes and it's still there. You know what I'm saying? That's like damn. But I'm blessed now because, like I said, I'm married, and so my wife introduced wipes to me. I mean, I knew about them, but I thought it was only for babies. You know what I'm saying? But she introduced them to wipes, so I'm kind of mad at her for being spoiled. Oh yeah, yeah, dude. Yep, the front side and the back side now, right? Hello. And so the sorry, I got thrown off. Like I said, personally, I was mad at my wife because I'm spoiled now, right? I can't go to work with a little baggie without some wipes or whatever. But my ass thanks her. You know what I'm saying? It truly does. And so does a lot of my underwear and drawers. Because I remember back in the day when I was younger, you're at a bar or you're at a gathering, and you had to go to the restroom, and you have those the pie shits, so you're like wiping, you're like, you know what, there's a hot chick waiting for me, and I just gotta, man, forget it. And you just pick up your pants, and you're just talking to your drawers, say, sorry guys, you're gonna have to take one for the team because I'm gonna throw you away when tonight, you know what I'm saying, because you're not gonna wash that. Either you throw them away, you put them right under the trash or something like that. And so yeah. um, Another moment that we talked about when back in the days, passing the bong around in the river, you getting stone, or the the pipe, or the blunt, or the joint back in the day. That another silly conversation was about, like, words and where they come from and how weird they sound. Like poop. That's another word. That's a weird word, right? Who came up with poop? Or if you're Hispanic, caca. I don't know if you guys remember caca. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. Caca, what's that? So remember that. Another word is, that's related to poop, fart. It's like, I mean, where does fart come from? It's like a weird, it's like a fart doesn't sound like the word fart. And so, yeah, and I think this came from the movie, the thought of words and stuff like that, where we're watching it was Tommy Boy, where they talked about roads, ads. Another word that's funny to me is giraffe. Yeah, it's a very interesting, but it's an interesting animal. So I understand that a little bit. Let's see. Oh, another thing that we used to talk about, and it's kind of related to now, it's like the things that we created, or what we could have created, or what we should have, or what we thought we created. You're all hungover. You're like, oh man, I wish I got something to eat. I wish I could. And then you start thinking, I wish somebody could bring me something to eat. And I'm too hungover to go, or I would even pay somebody to come over. Well, shit, that's what, Uber now, DoorDash, and so that's a crazy thought we all probably had back in the day. But I tell my wife, I'm glad I didn't have it, because shoot, if I did, I'd probably be dead by 30, because running into diabetes, that's what I had to look into. But that was because not really taking care of myself, not loving yourself, kind of a deal. But now I do. And realize that being healthy is very expensive. You know what I'm saying? Because oh my goodness, like a salad of barely a little bit of here and a little bit of that costs just as much as a cheeseburger with fries and a soda and a yogurt and chicken nuggets and then a happy something. So it's like, huh, shit, I'd rather be fat, and you eat the burger and whatnot. But no, I'm not doing so no more. I started loving myself and started taking care of myself. But I also realized at those age that now, especially now, that getting healthier and getting older is like a double-edged sword. Yes, it's a blessing. Thank you. But it's also sucks. It sucks sometimes. Like exercising. I'm doing better exercising, and I'm realizing, damn, I'm getting to the point where you have to stretch to stretch. Like, God damn, some people don't get that until you're older, because you sneeze or you fart and you throw your whole back out, just from from a sneeze or hiccup or something like that. And it really happens. It happened to me. So I totally feel it. Or like reading. The other day I was doing the reading out of my phone because I had my notes there, and it's like a video game, especially with the lights. You're like, no, and so you redirect it, or like I did, I put those notes onto a piece of paper, and now I blow it up, so that way, I can read it now, no problem, you know. Or the other day, I realized, losing the hair, I started losing the hair a little bit right here in the beginning. So a couple of years ago, I was in denial. So I had the comb over. I called it El Presidente. For for our good old president. But yeah, I said, you know what? It's off. My wife loves my head. I have a beautiful head. Why not, right? Speaking of wife, like I said, get in order. You get married, you have a family, you have a home, and at a young age, I didn't want that though. At a young age, I had a belief of no wife, no kids, no headaches. And yes, I understand men are definitely a headache because I'm a husband now, and I know I'm a headache. But it was mostly because I knew at a young age the top three sacrifices in life was in no particular order: land/home, your spouse, and then your kid. Those are the top three sacrifices in life. So there's no more selfishness once you have all three of those, especially all three. Back in the day, it was a lot about me. And I'm proud to say now I could flip that M upside down, and now it's about we. Like I said, I'm blessed to have my wife. 11 years we've been together, 4 years married, and our beautiful home. But who else has that one thing about their home? It could be a mansion or it could be a duplex or apartment, but there's that one thing at home that no matter what, you walk by it and you just get mad. Anybody? No? Yeah? What was your thing at home, ma'am? Roof? Oh yeah, see that's a big one. That covers you. Well, at our house, it's not that big. It's not that big and important. But at our house, it's blinds, and we live in an older duplex. Okay, so the blinds are like if you look at them wrong, they'll fall. And so it's annoying. Between the wife and I, we're like, darn it. And so we even have ones that are in our dining room where it's kind of like this. You see, have all these different. We had different curtains, but they're all together. So what we had to do is we had to pick them all, grab them, okay, put them over our shoulder, and then hope and pray while we're opening them, none of them fall. And so if sometimes we're lucky and they don't fall, and we got excited, it's like we won the lotto. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yay, super excited. And then then we clap hands and slap hands, and then the vibration knocks a couple down. Oh, shit. Yeah. So yeah. So we all have that issue. Let's see. All right. Yep, that's a pretty good one. Well, I'm gonna finish with this. Like I said, with the wifey, she's just recently helped grandma out cleaning, because that's what my wife does. She loves doing so, getting organized and cleaning. And so she's over my grandma-in-law, and they were putting up stuff like that, putting up clothes, and they came across a shirt. It was a Christmas shirt. Okay. And mind you, we're in at the time it was March, but now we're in April, and grandma was starting to have a fit. Oh no, it's wrinkled. It cannot. It has to be iron. It has to be this, and and so on and so on. And my wife, she loves her grandma. She's like, Grandma, what we're doing is, she folds it up. She goes, we're gonna put it in the Christmas box, and then worried about on Christmas. I was like, okay, see, there you go. And then, like I said, my wife, she is what I call a suburban gangster. She's like, babe, I don't want to go to this because if nobody laughs, I'm gonna bite somebody. I was like, damn, okay, I'm glad, babe. I'm glad you're not coming after all. But her and my grandma-in-law are like two peas in a pod. Okay, they are both, what do we call it? Vertically challenged. Okay, my wife is 5'2" with 5'1", but 5'2" with a good hair bun day. They're both, loud, and they're a little too much alike. And when I mean like this, like I said, short, loud, and so on. But the cool thing is, she is knowing this, so she's changing as we all do, and so meaning there is hope. So, well, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed your evening. I hope you enjoyed my few minutes. I did start a platform. You can check on me with the Aristeo Junior Show. It's on YouTube, TikTok, Insta, Facebook, and all that. Thank you guys very much. You guys have a good one. God bless. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
We just wanted to say goodnight really quick.
First of all, thank you so much to Artisans for giving us the space tonight to get together and celebrate community.
Thank you very much.
And music. Thank you so much.
All right, man. I did all right. I think I had some people laugh. So God bless. Thank you guys. You guys, hope you guys enjoyed your time. But yeah, I love you guys. Peace. Remember, love yourself. Mind, body, and soul. Try something different. Please. All right. Peace.
We had so many people here who were here for the very first time. Brian, Aristeo, Will. Just want to give you guys an extra shout out. Thanks so much for being
Thank you
here.
guys.
It's every first Friday every week.
You have like 2 hours and like 47 minutes left.